and gentlemen, I present to you Life's Milkshake Moment with health coach Joe D.
Well, welcome to Life's Milkshake Moments. Tonight, for sure, there is hope. I want to welcome you. I'm Dr. Jody Bear, America's top foundational health coach, giving you foundations of health, foundations of living, foundations of hope. The context of Life's Milkshake Moments, if you've been here, you know it. If you haven't, well, I'm just going to give you a little snippet, okay? Life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely, and when you do, life will be so sweet. I played the Ignite video, one of our corporate sponsors for Life Milkshake Moments. And I did this because I'm an honored participant along with the other 33 authors. I was the project leader for our latest book that, yes, J.B. Owen has her 20th international best-selling book. And we went international bestseller in 7 countries and 23 categories in one day on Amazon. I am absolutely honored and delighted to be a part of that. And I'll be putting this up in just a moment where you can order your copy of Ignite Wisdom. Don't we need wisdom? Because hope begets wisdom and wisdom begets hope. Now, my background, just to tell you a little bit about me and how I fit in to this book. Health coach for 42 years. It's hard to believe that I've been giving healing and hope for people 2/3 of my life. I am so honored. Well, I've lived life from that spiritual focus. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. That spiritual focus that I know our creator of all healed me, not once, not twice, but 3 times I was touched and divinely healed. It comes from that energy. It comes from emotions. As Helen Keller says, emotions must be felt with the heart, but we can't be held captive to them. And I know that in my Life's Milkshake Moment in this book, Ignite Wisdom, my title is Feel the Real. Feel the Real? Because as a single mom, I worked and worked and worked and worked. I became an empty nester. I didn't listen to my emotions. My emotions were telling me something else. Well, I ran from my emotions rather than feeling the real. And I had a situation that I contracted only because I over-exercised. Yes, anything can be overdone. And I over-exercised, doing a marathon a month. What happened is I had a situation with stage 4 melanoma, but I found peace, as our distinguished guest is going to be talking about here tonight. I found peace in my broken pieces. I began to feel the real. And that is the chapter of my book, which is now launched. I said, I am so delighted, in 7 countries. 7 countries, #1 bestseller, 23 categories on Amazon. You see, hope. Everybody needs it. I'm going to focus on the O. You've heard me talk about the H being healed, but the O stands for opportunity to look up to your true north, whatever that is to you. That is the spiritual sense of everything. The quote in this book and my chapter is an original power quote. It is, when you take care of yourself in your world first, the world around you is empowered forever. Are you ready to get empowered tonight? You will, from our guest. Every week we focus, as many of you know, and if you're brand new, on a pillar of human existence. We start with spiritual, physical, emotional, mental, social, and then financial. But tonight we're back at the top with one of the best. And I'm going to give you Serena Brown Travis's dad's quote that I love, that I love, what I love. As you see on the background, my first book was with Ignite the Hunger in You that we brought out in December of this last year. I was in page 156. Frankly, this was an absolute life's milkshake moment, one that I will never, ever to be duplicated. Being with the incomparable Les Brown, being with the global legend and global voice for these 8 months when we did this project was in page 156 in that book. In this upcoming one, I'm in page 34. As I told JB Owen, it's kind of fun because I'm 68. I'll always take page 34 because it's half of my age. I really like this. But being with these people that want to ignite the world, people that have ignited like Les Brown, people that want to bring healing and hope and peace in our broken pieces. Isn't that what it's all about? So is the quote that I love from Les Brown, one of the many, but he says, live life from the hunger of your heart. When you fill your heart with what you hunger for, your mind will find a way to achieve your heart's desire. So what is that heart of yours desire? What do you hunger here tonight for? I can truthfully say when Mr. Les Brown says it's possible, we're going to take a break before I introduce our distinguished guest here tonight, Serena Brown Travis. I'm going to play Ignite Possibility from Ignite Publishing. As Les Brown says, it is possible to open up a whole new future for you. Know that is you that can do this, and no one else. Just know that it is possible. So get ready to ignite your possibilities with this next commercial from Ignite Publishing.
Ignite possibilities. It's the idea that anything is possible. In fact, anything and everything is absolutely possible. We just need to start believing in that. There's a lot of conversations going on the planet, and one of them needs to be about possibilities. We need to inspire and ignite possibilities in all of our minds once again to believe that things are possible. We can change the planet when we step into the idea that what is possible is absolutely possible, and we can go after that. We can do that. We can dream more. We can aspire for more. We can have more. We can include more. We can create more. We just have to believe it. Start doing it. Working in that direction. Having that conversation. Understanding that what's possible is truly impossible in each of us. Igniting possibilities, that's the idea. That's what we need to start talking about. Ignite possibilities in me, in you, in everyone, in humanity. When we raise ourselves up, we raise each other up, and when we start going after what's possible in our own lives, with the permission for everyone, every single person on the planet to go after what's possible for them. Ignite possibilities. Ignite a possibility in you, ignite possibilities in someone else, and we can change the world.
Are you ready to ignite the possibility? Because it is possible. And this is what I know. This guest of mine tonight, I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night, just thinking about Serena Brown Travis is going to be on my TV show. So let me just have you experience a little bit of my excitement when you hear who she is and what she has done. And then you'll feel and know all about her here in just a few minutes. Serena Brown Travis is the daughter of renowned motivational speaker Les Brown. She's a theologian, motivational speaker, trainer, restaurateur, managing board member of the Les Brown Corporation. Serena is committed to reaching the masses with her messages, her positivity, overcoming obstacles, and moving towards success. Her passion in this arena stems from her father. He deserves a repeat performance on this. The motivational speaker and legend, Les Brown. And her family business is focused on self-development and inspiration. Serena's book series, I have two. She has a whole series, so get ready for this. Her series is about building self-confidence, pride, a sense of self-worth among young readers, and recognizing that children are dealing with challenges socially, economically, and familial issues, having devastating consequences to the future. As her dad, Les Brown, says, children are 40% of our population, but 100% of our future. The goal in Serena's books is to shine the light in dark places to give solutions. Don't we love solutions on concrete defeat and to win? As a speaker and a best-selling children's author, international best-selling author, she's now earned, just so that you know, not only does she speak, but she does in the classroom as well. A Bachelor of Arts from Hampton University, know it very well in marketing and communications, then her master's at Franklin. Now, she's accepted her higher purpose calling. This is why she is here, for the spiritual pillar of human existence. She's a student at Trinity Lutheran Seminary, Capital University, I know it well, in Columbus, Ohio. A master's in theological studies. Outside of reading, writing, speaking, studying, Serena enjoys time as a volunteer, singing in the shower, and planting hugs and kisses on her husband. Well, I'm sure it's like two ships passing in the night. She is one busy woman, but she gets it done. Along with her most recent celebration, she has a daughter, Sierra, but her daughter, Sydney, just graduated from high school. So congratulations, Sydney, as well. And her book that we're going to focus on tonight is In Case I Forgot to Tell You. I know she is going to bring more than a book. I know she's going to bring more than just inspiration and motivation. She will bring her heart, her mind, and her soul. Welcome, Serena, to Life's Milkshake Moment, my dear.
Listen, thank you. Thank you for the welcome. Thank you for this opportunity to share in your platform. And thank you for being you. I think that we underestimate who you are and the lives that you've changed with your work, you being a doctor and all, and making sure that everyone is well and healthy. And so I thank you for following your passion and making sure that you're impacting the lives of others.
Thank you, Serena. And so I just want you to fill in the blanks. I know you get this question 9,000 times, but tell us a little bit about you personally, growing up in Ohio, and anything you wish, and of course, growing up with that famous dad, Les Brown.
Well, I never thought anything of it, except when I started to go other places and wondered why people didn't follow other people's dads. So you must think, as a kid, everyone always circled my dad. So whenever we were at the movie theater or we're out to eat, we always had a ton of people around. And then when I went to other places with my friends' parents, I'm like, well, where's the fanfare? How come no one's following your dad? So it never dawned on me until I got a little older to go, oh, he's really important. People like him. But one of the things that he always did is he made sure that we always thought and spoke positively of ourselves. And so I realize now as a kid, he would say, if I said, oh, Dad, I can't do it, I mean, I would nearly have to do push-ups if I said can't. And of course, I'm being funny. But he would say, no, baby, you can't say that. You do not say that. You say, yes, I can. Or you say that I'm facing a challenge. So he made sure at a young age, we were very specific and intentional about our words to make sure that we had no barriers, even including the barriers that we create for ourselves in our minds. He was adamant that we would not speak negatively over ourselves and over the possibilities that we had for ourselves.
Intentional, specific. Thoughts are things, words have meaning. I can just say, not only did your father inspire you, I've been inspired by him now for the last 15 months. It's been such an honor to be a part of the Les Brown Inner Circle. But let's talk about you,
okay,
Miss Serena, soon to be Reverend Theologian Serena. You're an inspiring real speaker, trainer yourself. I mean, I experienced you.
Yeah.
I experienced you. I gotta finish this. I gotta get this out. I experienced you, your passion and direction, just that specific and intentional with the Drop the Mic program in February in Orlando. You were like, okay, you talk about drop the mic. You owned that training. It was just so impactful. I think about it all the time and what I learned from you that day.
Oh, wow. Well, first of all, thank you. And I thank God, a lot of times we think is ourselves. But that, as much as I've studied on my own, I'm very grateful that there was something that connected you to me to you, and that really connected myself with the audience. And so again, it's been helpful, of course, to grow up around this, but I still have had to work to sharpen my axe, So as you mentioned, yes, I did yield. I had to yield to the calling I was receiving on my life. And I'll be honest with you, I did not want to take it. I thought, first of all, with my dad in this career, this industry, as much as we enjoy supporting him, you can ask any of my siblings, we didn't want any parts of it outside of just supporting him. And, we didn't want to steal the platform. We didn't want to be, to look like we're in competition or any of those things. So we were fine with being in the back of the room. I also realized, however, that intentionally putting yourself in the back of the room, there were things that would bubble up in my spirit. As you said, you enjoyed the training. Again, I'm grateful for it, but I would have never known that I could have some impact with anyone if I didn't get from the back of the room. And so my father, of course, has always encouraged myself and my siblings, come on the stage with me, so on and so forth. If I'm training other people, I should be able to train my children. You know how he is. You know how that head gets to moving. And we all said that, no, we're behind the scenes. We're behind the scenes. But I will say for two things. Number one, as a parent, if your children are not doing exactly what you think they should be doing, if you don't think that they're moving as quickly in the direction that they should be moving in, just give it time. Because as you can see now, Jody, because you're a part of the inner circle, you see my sister Samaya rising in her arena. You see myself, you see Ona, who has already done such phenomenal work across the country. And even she is still in her own right, coaching and teaching and writing books. And so just don't give up. As parents, you've planted enough. You've planted enough, and you all have taught us, and so on and so forth. So at this point, yes, at 41, I yielded to a call. Well, I yielded at 38, and so I'm almost finished with this second master's. I promised myself I'm never going back to school again, yada, yada, yada. And yeah, God was like, yeah, okay, I'm in control, and you're going to do as I say do. So that is what has happened to myself in my life. And I can tell you that all I've done is put on my seatbelt. It has really taken this call and this pursuit in theological studies has taken me mentally and spiritually to places I would have never imagined. It's far beyond church. It's far beyond just talking about how good God is. I mean, it really causes you to dig deep and to look around to see God in some dark, difficult places in the world as well as in your life. And so that is who I am now. I am just a servant of the Lord. I am waiting for the next thing that I'm supposed to do. I'm a little nervous now, I'm a little nervous, but nonetheless, I realize I cannot run from it anymore. And I have to yield to the calling that God has placed on my life.
And you're yielding so well. And you just radiate the energy, Serena, when you talk about that, you just radiate the energy. And and I know Capital University, I've sung a couple of concerts there at your,
nice.
At your university. It is no joke. It is a difficult school. They had to do something, but in Columbus, Ohio, besides just have the headquarters for Victoria's Secrets, they've got a real great theological seminary. And congratulations with everything that you do and all the hats you wear. You're just the epitome of those ducks that they just go across the water like we have in our lake outside. And underneath, they're just paddling like crazy. And you're just yielding and paddling, and it'll be there. And then as a speaker, so here you were as a trainer, and then you were a speaker at our Powerful Woman Ignite Your Life. We still are using this pink background because it was so beautiful when we did our Women's Awareness Month. And you just came in, and I'm going to say what? I mean, I saw when you were training us to speak, but it's one thing to be a trainer. It's quite another to be a speaker. So, ladies and gentlemen, the reason Serena's here is I asked for an encore. It was that good. There are a circle of us that made that event, and it's on KP Media. You can follow it. You can go and look in the events section. You can listen the whole time. But I'll tell you, tell us a little bit of how you got into the speaking. I know you said you were in the back of the room, but how did you get in and you went on the stage and now you command it?
Well, again, I grew up around Mr. Brown, Les Brown, the number one motivational speaker in the world. Of course, as kids, we had no choice but to sit down while Dad was speaking and be still. So sit down, be still. That says a couple things. Again, as a parent, make sure you are exposing your children to nothing but excellence, to nothing but possibility. So at the time, I did not know that sitting down, being still, and listening to my dad, and you can ask Samaya and I, we thought it was boring. We were ready to go outside in the lobby and play and to do everything that kids do. But as a parent, you must be persistent of pointing your children in the right direction. As relates to me entering into the speaking world, it's really one of those things that it was a mistake. It was an accident. It was a fill in the gap for me. It's a, hey, I'm running late. Can you run downstairs and get everyone going? And so that's how a lot of times when we look at how do we get started, a lot of times we inadvertently get started. Someone probably said to you, hey, Jody, I need a solution for something. And all of a sudden you start studying and a light bulb goes off and you give good advice and they come back and say, oh my goodness, what you told me works. And then someone does the same thing again. And so we usually stumble upon, it's not that we're looking for it. We usually stumble upon the opportunity. I mean, look at Moses in the burning bush. He stumbled upon it. He was not trying to free the folks. He had no parts in that industry, but nonetheless, he stumbled upon it. And so I urge everyone who is trying to find their niche in life, look at what you happen to stumble upon over and over and over again. Look at some of the reoccurring themes that happen. If people always call you for advice, and then someone else calls you for advice, and then you're told that, oh, that was life-changing advice, they're calling you back. Maybe you have a niche in counseling. Maybe you have a niche in just being a good listener. So look at the things that you happen to stumble upon. So I could not continue to ignore, Dr. Bear, the things that kept knocking on my door. So that is how I got started. And also realizing that my father is in his lane. He is the world's number one motivational speaker. He's been doing this for a long time. Me, Serena, I don't have to be my father. I can be in my own lane. I can inspire people along the way. I can have goals that match my needs. And then if there's more to be had, then I know that I'll be pushed in that direction because I'll stumble upon it. It'll be a reoccurring situation that continues, such as me being on your show today and other people who call to say, hey, we would like you to share the platform. At this point, I just say yes, because I don't know what God is doing. I mean, a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, I would say, oh no, I'm busy for today, or, but I just have to now just yield. So again, yield to the call that you feel, yield to the things that keep knocking on your door. If you keep fighting it, it'll keep coming back harder and harder and harder again and again and again. And really, it's almost like your gifts are knocking on your door. And one of the things that my father says is don't get to the grave. Do not get to the grave and have the ghost of your goals and your dreams standing around you. And then standing around you with angry eyes saying that we came to you and only you could have given us life. So with that being said, make sure that you are, as he would say, living full and dying empty. Don't take anything to the grave with you. And at this point in my life, I would have thought at 41, maybe I should be looking at retirement and finding a way to put my feet in the sand. And absolutely not. I am just getting started.
Oh, yes, you're getting started. Because remember, my book was 34 and I'm 68 and I'm still going. So it is. And so I pulled out this quarter. I said, okay, is it Serena? Is it going to be heads or tails? Is it going to be heads or tails? Speaker trainer. I'm going to take heads and tails because, I mean, for real, to yield. I love what you said about yield. Just saying yes, because if we're talking about the spiritual sense, Serena, if you are called, you will be equipped.
Oh, yeah.
No,
yeah.
won't you?
And, a lot of times, and I'm guilty of it, and it doesn't matter who my father is or how much training I've been around, I felt like I needed to be fully equipped before I stepped into the arena. One of the things that my father says is leap and grow your wings on the way down. Another quote that travels in this arena is, God doesn't call the prepared, he prepares the called. So with that being said, we know we are being prepared along the way. The test, if we look at life in general, the test comes first, then the lesson. I mean, wouldn't it be great if life was like school, that you sit and you take 3 or 4 weeks to learn the arithmetic and all of the other things that go into the lesson, and then you have the test? But that's not how life shows up. Life shows up with a test first, and then the lessons come. So you think about it. If you hit your knee first, and then all of a sudden you step back and go, oh, I should have been careful about that crack that was in the sidewalk. I should have been careful to watch where I was going. So the test comes first, then the lessons follow. If you hit your head against the wall, that's the test. Boom, you hit your head against the wall. Then you come back and you analyze and you reevaluate. How did I hit my head against the wall? Why did I hit my head against the wall? What can I do in the future to make sure I don't hit my head against the wall? And once we figure out that the test comes first, and then the lessons come afterwards, and we have to learn from the lessons, however, and then we can successfully navigate it again. So that is the thing that we must be fully aware of. The test comes first. So if you're walking around in life saying, oh, I'm being tested, pay attention to the lessons that follow, so that when the test comes again, you'll say, oh, this is familiar. I'm very clear. I've been here before, and we're going to do it differently this time. And so I think that that's one of the things we must remember, and making sure that we don't take some of the tests and the trials that come. We're not offended by it. It's kind of like, oh,
personally, no.
This makes sense. Like I said, don't be offended when the test comes. Just be prepared to execute the lessons correctly that you learned the first time, just in case you stumbled along the way.
Just iron shopping iron. So if you're enjoying this, I mean, the comments are just blowing up. If you're enjoying this, just put a 1, because she is the one. I was just thinking, Ona, Samaya, and you. That's brown girl power. Woo! I mean, for real. And Michelle, thank you. You know, I'm excited to hear this. We are the hope of glory. Tom, I love this. Love that. I mean, we're just getting all kind of love.
Good.
Looking great. You know, Renee said, yes, she is the bomb. So just know that you are the bomb, .com. If you want to find Serena Brown Travis, just go to Instagram at the Pulpit Chick. Don't you love that? She is the Pulpit Chick. But tonight, Serena, we are focusing on this spiritual pillar. I've said this many a times. And so this is a 2-part question. Mm-hmm. I know that you've got a passion for soul food, your restaurant here, for sure. And what made you create this kind of restaurant? I just had to ask you that question because I love that kind of food. But it's got to be vegetarian, but I love that kind of food.
Well, we love good food. And also, you must remember, and I'm sure you have it too, food creates memories. And so when we used to have, my husband and I, we would have cookouts. We would have a ton of people coming to our house. And someone said, I can't believe you have all these people at your house and you've never considered a restaurant. And my husband and I looked at each other, again, stumbled upon. Someone just mentioned it. And it's not like that was our first cookout. We have cookouts all the time. So we, again, for life, look at the things that you do that no one pays you to do, that you do naturally, that you do well. We didn't go to school for culinary anything. We just happen to like good food. And as a result of it, we have a food truck. So we started off with a food truck. It was an ugly black trailer. Again, my dad says you don't have to be great to be started. You know the rest. And so with that being said, the trailer, not even a food truck, the food trailer that we have, we painted it black. I mean, we had patches all over. I should have a picture at some point. I'll send you a picture if we ever do this again. And so what happened, we were always busy. When we showed up at fairs and festivals, we were always busy. The funny part is, a lady came up to the truck. I'm going to tell the story quickly. She came to the truck and she said, listen, my friends came and told me to come to this ugly black truck. She stepped back, she looked at the truck, and she said, okay, I'm here. I need to go ahead and place my order for the, yeah. So she realized after she placed her order, after I took the food, she said, did I say that out loud? And I said, yes, you did. And I love it because, and so now we also call ourselves the ugly black truck. From the ugly black truck, we moved into a brick and mortar, which is carry out only. Again, something small, something feasible. So we don't have 50 chairs and seats and all of that. We started small. We kept it small. And during the pandemic, the only restaurants that were allowed to stay open were carry out restaurants. And so a lot of times, what a blessing indeed. So a lot of times we look to be big and we want to blow up quickly, and God kept us small on purpose. And the best part is that we were small and business slowed down. Here's the blessing in business slowing down. It gave us an opportunity to say, okay, now listen, we're not going to waste this food. So community, senior citizens, children who are now out of school, who don't have the option to go to school to get their meal, come through the Good Kitchen 614, eat for free. It's on us. Let's use faith over fear. This is during the heart of the pandemic. Let's give away this food so it doesn't go bad. And as a result of that, Jody, our sales tripled.
You gave.
We gave.
That brown heart, faith over fear, that brown heart. Oh.
So the point of that story for us is, even as scary as it looks, continue to do what you do best. If it's giving away economically for a small business, it makes no sense for a mom and pop to give food away. We could have sold it. We could have placed it in the freezer. I could have, gone to nursing homes and said, hey, I have meals for sale. We didn't. And so I would encourage everyone, when you have an opportunity to help, even when it doesn't make sense, help. Because at times in our lives, we have all needed help. We've all needed grace. We've all needed someone to give a helping hand, even when it didn't make sense. When I look at my father's career, there have been plenty of times where he would finish speaking on stage, and maybe there's some young mother, some man in the back of the room that may need an extra economic boost. And he'll say, hey, you know what? Take this, go provide for your family. Take this, go get some diapers. Take this, go get a ride home. And they were in the right place at the right time. So for the kitchen, for our soul food, we know that food creates memories. We know that one of the things that I wanted to do is, I didn't want, especially for the meals we were giving away, I wanted them to be meals that if the children ever had good food again, if the grandparents, if the senior citizens ever had something good again, they would say, you remember that restaurant gave us some good food. We didn't look for hamburgers and hot dogs. We didn't look for bologna sandwiches or peanut butter and jelly. We gave away the stuff that we sold.
Soul food, because it came from your soul, and you can't outgive our Savior. So I know we've touched upon this, and before we go in to your books and what we're really here for, and y'all, you're in for a treat. But is there anything that else that you want to add? How you just said yes, you yielded to the call of going and getting your master's degree?
Well, I'll tell you this. When I found that life was just getting uncomfortable for me, I couldn't figure out what it was. I couldn't figure out, okay, God, what am I doing wrong? How come life is uncomfortable? How come the kids are acting up? It looks like my marriage could possibly fail. Everything was uncomfortable around me. I had to sit still and I had to pray. And it was not a long prayer. It was, God, help me. Because I couldn't figure it out. I mean, here I am, trying to make sense out of what I could not make sense out of. And what I realized is that I was moving and running so fast. So yes, I am a busy mom, a busy entrepreneur, a busy wife, all of those things. But I also realized I was moving fast to avoid hearing where I needed to go next.
Feel the real.
Yeah.
Just like,
yeah. So for people who find themselves constantly on the move, I would encourage you to stop and, number one, ask yourself why. Why? And if you're always on the move, and then when you go to sleep, you need a sleep agent or a sleep pill or melatonin. I mean, all that stuff is out there. I just want a restful night's sleep. So you're not giving yourself time to connect. You're not giving your mind and your soul time to rest and then hear the still small voice that has been placed in you. And so with that being said, the reason why I had to say yes is that life got too uncomfortable. And we know that your comfort zone is your danger zone. So
Yes.
we can, if you find yourself comfortable, that is a danger zone. And eventually, if you don't move on life, life will move on you. So if you find yourself that maybe the job is not what it needs to be, or you've experienced job loss and you've experienced some failed relationships and so on and so forth, then maybe you were taking too long to get out of that situation. And now life or God has had to snatch it from under you so that you can try to be on your knees to figure it out. So that is why I yield. I'll be completely honest, doctor. I did not go, oh, yes, Lord, let's do this.
Oh, no. It got uncomfortable and there was an itch you couldn't scratch. People are saying, I love this. Do you realize, ladies and gentlemen, you are dropping one nugget after the other. This is spiritual inspiration. And I want to go on to, and I just got so excited when I was able to bring this up. There is Perfect Penny.
Perfect Penny.
And you want to go ahead and talk about, in case I forget to tell you, which is another one of your books. You can go to Amazon.com. You can find Serena's books. I'm sure she's going to tell you where you can find them. But how did this whole talk about, this is another, maybe you got uncomfortable. Maybe you just stumbled upon it because you were called, you were equipped to become an author of such magnitude. Share with us.
Right. So, one of the things, my father, 90%, actually probably 100% of his audience, everyone is an adult, between entrepreneurs, between businesses, between individual people who just need an extra push, need some motivation. So it dawned on me, if adults need motivation, what do children need? At the time, my children, I was reading them books and everything was cute. Mom is at work, dad's at work, the kids are at grandma's house, grandma's making a pie. That's cute. However, it dawned on me that everyone does not have that life. Every child does not have that life. In fact, mom may be in jail, dad may be completely missing, and grandma may be off the hook. And so we make assumptions when we see children. Oh, children should be happy. Oh, what's wrong with you, little child? You're not smiling. We make major assumptions about the mood and the background and the life of many children, and we have no idea how much chaos they may be dealing with at home. So what I wanted to do is create books and a book series that showed children who could say, I identify with this child who doesn't know their mom or their dad. I can identify this child that is short and she gets teased. I can identify with this child who's being bullied. I identify with this child who's going to bed hungry at night or who doesn't have a home. And so I wanted books that identify some difficult situations that children find themselves in. Now, it's difficult for us to imagine it and read it as adults, because we always hope the best for our children, but it is not abnormal for many of the children that we are literally walking by in the street. With that being said, I wanted to have difficult situations and have the character, which is Perfect Penny, to be so optimistic that it speaks to them indirectly without preaching to them that, you know what? It does get better. You know what? If I'm short, it's fine. I'll be the peanut, but it's not over until I win. So I wanted those type of stories that can encourage children to see themselves where they are, to identify with where they are, and then have them look at the possibilities for where they can be. Because at this point, it may be offensive to a child to read about a happy mother and father and family. We don't know. I mean, we are just now getting to the point where we're recognizing, as wonderful as most mothers are and as wonderful as it was to celebrate Mother's Day, that is not always a happy holiday for a lot of people. And so if we adults struggle with self-esteem, if we adults struggle with anxiety and overcoming depression, then we also cannot ignore what our children may be going through. And that is the whole purpose of the book series. So it's not over until you win. Again, a marginalized child that really is saying to her friends, hey, you may say I'm short, you may say I'm not capable, you may say all of these things, but it's not over until I win. And that is the premise of the Perfect Penny book. You also mentioned, which I'm so grateful, you mentioned my other book, In Case I Forget to Tell You. Now, again, as a busy mom, and all of us are busy parents, there are times, and I know I'm not the only one guilty of it, that we're dropping off our children and we're like, hey, hurry, get out the car. Soccer practice is starting. Hey, we just got to ballet. Right. So all of those things were happening. And I realized we're so busy that I stop and tell my daughters, baby, you look beautiful today. I love your hair. I love how your shirt fits your shape. And it made me think that in case I forget to tell you, I love you. I love your smile. I love your energy. I love to hear the conversations about your day. And so that is the premise of In Case I Forget to Tell You. It really is a reset button for us as parents, as well as a reset button for children. Because sometimes, as you know, children get older and say, Mom, I didn't need all that. I just wanted to relax on the porch with you, or I just wanted to hang out, and you always had me going and going and going. And there are times that we forget the basics, because as parents, we want to make sure we expose our children to everything, and rightfully so, because we know that I'll give you all your eye can see. So once we're exposed to greatness, we can't unsee it. However, I wanted to have a book that helped both parent and child hit the reset button so that we can enjoy each other's presence, each other's smile, each other's warmth. So In Case I Forget to Tell You is that book to help you say, hey, we may have been real busy, but in case I forget to tell you, come here, let Mama tell you how much I love you. Let Daddy tell you how much you mean the world to me. And that is the premise of that book as well.
And Serena, isn't that just, I just want to say, pulpit chick, preach it, because it just makes such a sense right now. It makes such sense. Just take the time. So tonight, when you sit down, whether it's your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your anybody, your children, just say, in case I forgot to tell you, say that positive, because that seed can be an acorn that will grow into an oak tree. Now we've got to move fast forward.
All right.
How did this time? I knew it was going to fly by. The same thing happened with Samantha, but I want to switch gears, because you were just, like I said before, you absolutely were such a pivotal part in our Power of a Woman Ignite Your Life summit that we did, the live summit for 7 hours, and you were in the spiritual arena, and you came out with this out of, I know it was in your heart, it's undoubtedly your signature piece, but I was just kind of experiencing you for the second time, and you talked about making peace of your broken pieces, just like Samaya talked about hope and humanity. How did you come up with this peace with your broken pieces, thinking about, as you said at the Drop Your Mic event, 2 out of 5 households have an issue with just mental illness. There is the social pillar of human existence is so fractured in this last 2 years. That's why we need your books. We need voices like you. We need the pulpit chick. We need that spirituality to just be an umbrella over everything. So how did you come up? Just give us 30 seconds. And I want you to rip for 5. I want to hear this. I'm being purely selfish. And ladies and gentlemen, you'll know why. How did you come up with the piece with broken pieces? I'm sure it had something to do with being relevant today, didn't it?
Absolutely. Well, I'll quickly say, and it's been of no secret, we have, all of us, but personally, we have some dysfunction even in our own family. And we have some folks who are dealing with mental issues, and some have been very public. Social media has opened up that field. And, if you're having a moment, there are times you may find a spouse, a cousin, a friend, just letting it rip on social media. And so I said, we need peace. Number one, as a family, let us not run from it. Let us acknowledge, let us address, let us not hide and be embarrassed. We're not the only family who's dealing with anyone with emotional and mental and, that type of disturbance. That's number one. Mm-hmm. And so I said, listen, we have got to gather. This is a mess. Family, this is a mess right now. But we have to, instead of trying to, shut down and sue and do all this crazy, let's just find peace here. And you think of the song, and I still love it, There Will Be Peace in the Valley. It's an old hymn that I remember. Goosebumps. Yeah, and they would say, let there be peace in the valley for me someday. And when I think of what peace looks like, just look at how chaotic our world is. If you take a breath and you say, peace, you look at how biblically, how Jesus greeted us and how others greeted one another. They say, my peace I give to you. So when you think of peace from broken pieces, first of all, if you are in a broken space, just say, I need peace. I plead peace. I need peace of mind. And with that being said, you can then, instead of responding in chaos, responding to things in anger and frustration, you can then peacefully sit back and start to look at these pieces and begin to put them together like a puzzle. And this is how you get your peace from broken pieces. And even though it has cracks and fractures and it's not as solid as it could be, you still are now in a peaceful frame of mind that you can pursue, you can think, you can fix. And that is the whole concept of getting peace from broken pieces.
I would love, Serena, I want to turn the stage over to you for as long as you want. I think we've got 3 or 4 minutes, so you can just share this signature piece. You got to hear the philosophy about it. Now, let's experience the spiritualness of peace in broken pieces. Just enjoy this, ladies and gentlemen, for the next 4 to 5 minutes. The podium, the platform is yours, Serena.
Well, again, first of all, let me thank you again for this opportunity to be with you. And it's always so good to be in great company. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are trying to find peace, first of all, it's nearly impossible. We find ourselves waking up to news, alerts, alarms, and as soon as we turn on anything, then there's more floods of emails. We're getting advertised to by chimes. I mean, we can't go anywhere and get peace and quiet. In fact, I knew there was a problem when I had my watch remind me that for 1 minute, I should take a breath and I should be mindful of my surroundings. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be honest. I had opened my eye to figure out how long is this minute going to be? And it let me know if I struggle for 1 minute out of a 24-hour day to center myself, to breathe, to be mindful, to try to find some type of peace, then something's wrong with the way that I'm living my life and how I'm conducting myself every day. So when we look at peace from broken pieces, let's do a couple things. First of all, let's take deep breaths all of the time, because whatever it is that is pulling you away from getting centered with yourself and centered with your divine being, it's not that deep. We know that distractions keep coming in our lives, and distractions also keep us from living our best life. So let's find peace. How many of you could honestly say, hey, you know what? I have some broken pieces in my life, and the fractures are only going to get worse unless you pull back and say, I speak peace. That's it. I speak peace. You may not have a strategy. You may not know where to even start. But for this moment right here, I speak peace. If your kids are acting up, you just say, I speak peace. It'll take everyone off guard. Trust me. I speak peace. That gives you time to collect yourself. And in fact, that response, it's better than even cursing somebody out. They will have no response from you when you declare, I speak peace. So my peace, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you to find your peace of mind, to find the courage to take the time to sit, to let your mind rest, to find rest, whatever it is, rest in the valley, rest in your dark places. You have to rest enough to speak peace and then figure out ways to pull it all together. I speak peace. Let's say it together. I speak peace. When you get that peace, it's peace of mind, it's peace of heart, it's peace of in your spirit. When you get that peace, you can then get your life together. You can then be spiritually whole. You can be physically whole. We have been so used to running in chaos. I would love to just go to Congress and say, I speak peace. No one can dispute how beautiful that would sound on either side of the aisle, to be at peace. Think of our brothers and sisters in Ukraine. I speak peace. I speak peace. whatever it is you're going through right now, especially in your life, speak peace. Therefore, you can hear the voice of the divine. You can know exactly what you need to do and speak peace and love. And then it gets better. Once you get peace, then you find the courage to take another step and start doing as a result of the peace that you have now have in your life. You can't come at me with chaos. I remember an old song from the Wiz. It said, "Don't bring me no bad news. I don't want nothing but peace and positivity in my life. It will change how you show up in the world." Let's say it together. I speak peace.
I speak peace.
I speak peace. That's it. That's it. that gives you everything else. Once we can just hit the peace button. Look at Jesus in the garden. He had to push everybody away. He needed peace. He needed peace. He needed that quiet time. And if Jesus needed the quiet time, then what are we doing? What are we doing? And so again, I say to you, I appreciate you, Dr. Jody, for having these types of seminars, these type of online sessions, so that for individuals who are struggling to figure out how to put one step in front of the other, you are giving practical tools week after week after week. Also, I wanted to thank your sponsors. I forgot to mention that at the top of the show, but we are so grateful to Ignite Publishing, and hopefully I can't remember if I'm missing anyone else, but feel free. Okay, but I appreciate you and the sponsorships and the individuals who are listening, and you're doing something right because you're finding a common chord, a common ground, and it's helpful. It's helpful, and we don't know where to go anymore. So platforms like this, platforms such as my father's, and other great people who have the right intentions to help us find our peace and to establish our peace from broken pieces, it is vital. And so I thank you for that.
Share this, share this, share this. Serena, I took an entire page of notes. I was just like writing, in case I forgot to tell you, you were amazing today. and faith without fear. But as your father would say, up in here, you are Les Brown's daughter personified in this spiritual sense. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for giving us inspiration and hope with peace in broken pieces. And yes, you can come back anytime and we'll just do this again. And maybe we'll just cook up some soul food. Okay.
That'd be great.
614 style. Much love. Much love.
Love you. I appreciate you. And in case I forget to tell you, thank you so much for being who you are and adding as much value as you have to my family. So I appreciate you, your energy, and your mission in life.
Beautiful, beautiful. Ciao for now, as we say.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
I just wanted to say again, thank you, Serena. I'm probably going to say it 3 times before we get and just conclude this live TV broadcast, but you will see it on my Facebook page. You will see it on YouTube. To share this, because her inspiration and her hope and her peace in broken pieces, it's going to be the Band-Aid for someone else's pain. I know it. I know it. As her father, Les Brown, says, it's necessary. It is necessary for you to accept responsibility for you. Know that it is you that can do only what you can do. No one else. That's making peace out of your broken pieces. And in the health arena, on the 15th of June, we're doing it again. We're doing it again. 2 roads of health. I've converged this, as Robert Frost would say, 2 roads converged in the woods. Pick the one that is best served for you, for your health, for life. Detoxification. We're going to have a 3 mastermind series. We have done parasites, we've done colon. We're moving up to liver, gallbladder, and kidneys. And we're going to do it one step at a time so that you really can help health for life. Because I say energy creates vitality, which transcends into longevity. So detoxification, the Health for Life platform. Then we're doing Be Lean. We have, as you know, our team has lost 1,010,000 pounds. And in the 60-day challenge in June, it's going to be your 40 pounds, because I'm over 1 million pounds lost. But guess what? The next pounds can be yours. And you do it healthy. We do it as we're finishing up Why Weight Lose the Weight. Now we're going into the ones that want a little bit more. We're delving in. So DM me at Health Coach Jody. DM me if these two programs speak to you, because as Les Brown said, and as Perfect Penny said, it's not over until we win. I am going to just put Miss Penny back up here so you can see. This is the book, Miss Perfect Penny. It's not over until you win. In case I forget to tell you, hope stands to heal, to go down into yourself and do what only you can do. Your diagnosis is not your prognosis. And to go look up in opportunity to your true north and come in, as Perfect Penny is doing, in positivity, to be and live the law of attraction, and then empower. That is the feel the real portion. To know that if you take care of yourself in the world around you is empowered forever. So you start with yourself and then go out and change the world. Change the world, okay? And these phenomenal insights of hope, of healing, of positivity, of passion, purpose, faith over fear, that you stumble into your calling. If you've been called, you're equipped. I'm just reading some of my notes here that you, as Serena said, her dad taught her to be specific and intentional. What does that mean in your spiritual platform? What does that mean in your spiritual life? To live a life of excellence and possibilities, and to know that your gifts are knocking at the door over and over and over. All you got to do is open that door. So remember to pick up your copy of Perfect Penny on Amazon. My grandchildren love it. And also, in case I forgot to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, now that we're in our 6th month at KP Media, I appreciate you. I honor you for coming back week after week. And of course, as I've had this ticker going around and around, I'm going to tell you, in case you didn't get it, take a screenshot. My book, which I wrote a chapter in, Ignite Your Wisdom. You can get a personal autographed signed copy from me. And when you buy it from me, you can go ahead and buy it from Amazon. But if you buy it from me, you get a slightly upgraded version. You get this copy with my signed signature mailed back to you. But you also know that it's going to be given away, because all the proceeds of my personal book are going to my Colombian charity. It's La Casa Ropa de Sobre. La Casa Ropa de Sobre. And it's bringing orphans and the elderly together in one foundation. So you're giving back and giving hope to some that don't have it. So thank you again, Serena Brown Travis. You absolutely are one that I could listen to all day long. The Pulpit Chick has got it going on. Wouldn't you agree? Share this broadcast with others. You can always find me on healthcoachjody.com, at healthcoachjody on Instagram, every form of social media, on Facebook. We do Health at High Noon, myself and Melanie Summers. Wednesdays at noon, it's a Health for Life platform on Clubhouse. But if you just want to do old school and just give me a call, 800-820-0854. That's 800-820-0854. And always remember that it is, and your life starts with the spiritual pillar, and everything else will work down. Next week, it will be Memorial Day weekend, and it is my honor and privilege to bring 3 Inner Circle Les Brown speakers, 2 ex-military and a military wife, Tracy Michelle Clark, Anthony Corbin, and Randall Gilbert. It will be an American Memorial Day edition of Life's Milkshake Moments. We'll know how to put those American ingredients together wisely. So remember, health isn't something you do, it's who you are along life's journey. And remember always that life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. And when you do, your life will be, in this case, Serena, Brown, Travis, spiritually sweet. So until next week, this is Dr. J saying, have a healthy day.